Good evening and welcome to CIS 101. This is another session, and unfortunately, this is how we have to do things. I wish there was a way that we could all be here and that will facilitate more interaction. But when you're given lemons, you can either throw them away or you can make lemonade or you can eat them that way. So we are in week 11. This session, I'm going to try to give you a recap of where we are, set the agenda for the next couple of weeks, and hopefully provide some hints on how you're going to be working on the latest assignment. So as you can see, we are in week 11, and if I go through the syllabus, this shows you the breakdown. We are on week 11 again, like I mentioned, the week of November 2nd. We are working on Excel individual and project. And like you can see here, this project is designed to be done in 2 weeks. Some of you might finish this in 1 week, and that's a good thing. And if you finish that, you can start working on Access. So Access is a little bit more challenging, so I'll ask you to devote a little bit more time to the assignments. Now, we don't have those end of chapter project that we worked on in PowerPoint and in Excel, so that might also make things a little bit easier. Access is a database management software and is very good. It uses what's called the relation database. And basically what we mean is you'll see something that looks like this. So this is going to be the interface for Access, and you'll be creating some tables. They call them entity, I'm sorry. And then you have what you're calling the fields, or what they call the field names, and then you have to create the relationships and on like that. So this is table, what you'll hear being called the entity, and then you have the field names right here, and then you also have the queries and you have the reports. So these are some of the features of Microsoft Access. Is a relational database management system, and the word relational means that there is some relationship, and you can see this is one table, another table, another table, another table, and all these tables are linked through these joins here. We call these joins, and these are the ones that create the relationship. Anytime that you see a key, that means that this is a primary key, and a primary key is used to identify a record. So this is a simple database which is used by a small store to record the category of their product. So if you go to the category, you'll see they have like the category ID, which represent the category, and then you have the name of the product that they have, and you have 1 represent MP3, 2 represent cell phone, 3 GPS, 4 PDA, and on like that. And then you have another table here, all entity, that is for all the orders, and it has the order details. And then you have another one for the product, and you have different products, and on like that. So usually when you're looking at Access, you'll be going through two views. We have what you call the datasheet view and then the design view. So the design view is where you lay out how the field names are going to be represented and the different types of and the type of data type that you're going to be going through. So we'll talk about more when we go to Access in a week or so, but just be prepared that that's going to be the interface that you're going to be working on. And basically what happens with Access is that you're going to be working with the tables, and then from the tables you'll be able to generate what you call the queries, and then you have the reports, and then to end the information you'll have the forms. So this is something that you have already used in your daily life. If you have bought something on the internet and you have to put in your information, your name, address, credit card information, you have already used what you call the forms in database to enter the information. And what you're doing is when you enter information into a website, that is actually a form. It captures that information and transfers that information into a table like this. So we'll be able to see how you can work with this, and it's actually a very nice software. So I hope you'll be able to gain something out of this. So don't be intimidated. By the time we finish, we'll have learned most of this concept and be able to see how we can use them in our businesses. So that's the part on Access. And if I come back here, we said we are in week 11. So that's where we are. And what I've done is, you're supposed to be working on this individual ed project. You have the file that you're working with, and then we have these three files down here, and basically these show the file that you're going to be working. They are the instructions, but you can also pull them from your book if you go to page 1190 to 1192. It's actually a very straightforward assignment, and I'll try to give you some hints and see how you can work on it. So let's get started. So you open that file here, and like I've done before, I try to use this software. It's easier for me, although it cuts me off at 15 minutes, which sometimes is a good thing because it ensures that you don't have very long videos. Always click enable, and like I've always said, it's also good, even before you start working on the assignment, get what's called the lay of the land. So you see, this is your workbook. It has a number of worksheets. You have the data, and it has some field names, so author, series, and you can always double click there to increase the size so you can see exactly what's going on here. So you see you have some information, author, series, code, blah blah blah, and then you have another worksheet for the sales here, another one for net sales, another one for series sales, and on like that. So under the data, you can see we have some blank things here, blank things here. So that should start ringing a bell that you're going to be doing something. You're going to be doing some computation, some mathematics and things like that, putting formulas and on like that. So what I do is I minimize this and have kind of what's called the split screen. So I have that right there, and then I'll open my files. So I have one here, and then page 2, and then page 3, and you can see there's that copyright thing over there, but we still can use it because this is meant to be for the class. And I'll try to maybe increase the size. That's the farthest can go. Okay, so you have some instruction here. You're the vice president, so you can read that. Format the worksheets. You're going to be working on some things. You're going to be formatting the worksheet, and then you will going to be inserting formulas and basic functions. You'll be moving data and inserting functions. And then on page 2, you'll be formatting the data, selecting the page setup option, doing some data applying conditional formatting, and then on page 3, you'll be creating some pie chart and finishing the project. So from page 1, we are told to open the file. We do that, select the range that on the data sheet, and then wrap the text. So basically what they're saying is this information here, you see some of it was not fitting in. It was like that. You have that, and then maybe something like that, and they want to make sure that you can see all the information. So basically what you'll do is you'll select all that, and then you go to make sure you're at the home tab, and you can use that feature over here. See that wrap text, and then you make sure that you center right there. So if this is all maximized, you're at the home tab, you'll be able to see that wrapping text and then centering. So that's something that you can do very easily. And then wrap the text, do all that, and then change the row height to 30. So row height, this is select this row right here, or you can just select the item that you have right there. And if you're going to be changing the row height, make sure that you're at the home tab. Under the cells, you go to format, and then you can pick here. Okay, you have the row height, you have because you're going to be doing column for another one, so you do it from there. So that's where the instructions are going to be found. And then read all the instructions down here. And then once you finish doing that, they tell you to click cell F7 on the data worksheet and insert formulas that calculate the percentage of books calculated. So return percent of the return. So basically this is the quantity sold. You have this item sold, this is the number of books, and quantity sold, number of books returned, percent returns. So you should be computing what was the percentage of the books that were returned. So there is a formula. Anytime you're working with a formula, you always use equals to. Now if these are the books that were returned and these are the total quantity sold, what is the percentage that was returned? Of course it's going to be the value in this cell divided by what? The value in this cell. Okay, and then whatever answer you get, let's say we get that, then you have to make sure that this is in percentage because they're asking you for the percentage value. And if you have to increase the decimals, you can do it through there and on like that. Then once you finish that, you copy this all the way down. So that's how we go about doing that. And after that, you do that, click cell H7. We have H7, the net sales. So it's telling us to compute the value for the net sales. Inside a formula, the net sales, this amount reflects the number of books not returned. So net sales is going to be the books that were not returned. So this is the quantity sold, these books were returned. So you have to get the number of books that were not returned multiplied by the unit price. So it's going to be a formula that you're going to be working with. You might have to put some brackets, and you might say this, take away this, so that shows you all the books that were sold. And then what do? You have to multiply that by what? The quantity, okay? The price, I'm sorry. And then when you do that, you get that number there, and then you can copy it all the way down like that, okay? Then the others, loyalty, and let's see where we are time wise. Okay, we are good. We'll have to make maybe 2 videos before we can finish all this. Okay, so inside the formula we did that. Click cell I7. So I7 is the loyalties. And what's happening inside a formula that calculates the amount of the first order's loyalties, and other based on the loyalty price, blah blah, okay, and okay, so let's read that clearly. Royalty rates, input area, and the respective net sales. Copy the formula from cell I7 to all that. So I7, okay, inside a formula that calculates the amount of the first order's loyalty, and orders loyalty are based on the royalty rate. Okay, we have the royalty rate located in the input area and the respective net sales. Okay, so we have royalty rate right here, so that value, and we are multiplying it by the what? The net sales, to find how much that person got. So we might have to make sure, because you're going to be using this value here and here and here and here and here, you might have to make that value absolute cell reference. Okay, so how you make the cell absolute cell reference is you can highlight it and just use F4, and then you have that. So when you enter, if you copy this all the way down, you should be able to do that. So this is going to be changing, okay, but this is going to be changing because you have values down here, but this should stay the same, okay? And then after that we are told to do what? Where was I? We did that. I7, click, set the formula that adds the first order's loyalty amount to the bonus. So right here to get the earnings, so you have loyalties plus the bonus. So this is that plus the value in this cell. Okay, so that's going to give you that plus this. So what I'm assuming is that you're not doing this by watching this. So the best thing is for you to make sure you do everything on your own, and then maybe you can come back and watch this video and try to grade and see where you made the mistakes. Then you can go ahead and improve on the work that you did. Okay, so the formula has the bonus, copy that, and then click J7 inside the function to calculate the average. So right here, you should be computing the average. So you're doing the average for what? So equals to average of net sales. So all the range down here, and then you enter, and then you do the same thing for the values here, equals to the minimum, the highest, which is maximum of the sales value over here, and then you do the same thing here. You say equals to, and then you have the minimum, the lowest is the minimum, so equals to minimum, and you double click there, then you specify the range like that, and then you enter. So it's only giving me that because I have only one value, but you'll have values all the way down like that. And that finishes the first part over here. Okay, so after that, now you can come back to moving data and inserting the functions. So you're told to select, so read this, understand that, then select the range L1 to N2. So figure out where is L1 and where is N2. So L1 is all the way down here. L1 to N2 is that, and basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to copy these values. So you copy that, and then you're going to be moving it to right here. You right click, and then you go to paste special, and you want to make sure that you click on paste special, so you have this pop-up window, and then look for the transpose. So transpose is that feature that will change the values. If they are horizontal, they become vertical, and you click OK, and then you see what happens. So the way this was structured was the acronyms were on the row, and now they are on a column. So you did the transpose when you did the pasting, and then after that they tell you to clear this and click cell CISA in that column, the series and all that, and then from there you go to capstone 2, and that will end. Click cell 7 inside the lookup function. So